Hey guys, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena video, and tonight we're going to be doing something for our free-to-play friends until we get into War of the Spark season. We're going to start running a series of decks that are designed specifically for those who are free-to-play, meaning these decks will consist of no more than 4 rares or mythics, and the rest will be consisting of commons and uncommons, to get those players who are just either getting into the game or not putting any kind of money into the game, some deck ideas on what they can play that could potentially win them some games and get them some of their dailies and grinding out some gold. So tonight we're going to be doing free-to-play Selesnya Convoke. Now I actually haven't built a Selesnya deck. It's one of the decks that doesn't particularly interest me, so this was actually kind of fun for me to do because I'd not done it before. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we're going to go with token generation for a bit, and then we're going to try to use some of the splash of all of the cards that came from Selesnya. So I do first, of course, want to take we are post March update, and I've got I did go ahead and spend the $15 for the bundle that started off. Now, first of all, it was a great deal because for the $15 you got 200 gems less than you would have if you just spent $20 on getting gems. So for the gems alone, the bundle was absolutely worth it for $5 less than you would normally pay for those gems. Plus, you get a whole bunch of cool cards like this one. So I'm going to switch over all my decks using Llanowar Elves to these, and I think these panoramic cards are really, really kind of cool. It's our version of a foil card. I don't know that I would necessarily say that it's worth it to pay for all of them to be like that. I've seen people that have done it. I'm not going to blame them. I have seen people that have done it, and good for them. If some of those cosmetics are really kind of designed for the people that are willing to put a ton of money into it. I'm not willing to put a ton of money into it. I'm more interested in decks and cards. But when I get the opportunity, I absolutely will do that. So having said that, I'm going to put my brand new sleeves on there. Look at those. The Magic Arena sleeves that are going to go on the deck. Anyway, so the deck starts off with 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Flower to Flourish. More often than not, you're using this for Flower to go grab that basic land and put it into play, but you also have the opportunity late game to give all your creatures a +2/+2 bonus until end of turn. Conclave Guildmage. This has actually come surprisingly helpful in several occasions. There are some bigger creatures down at the bottom, which I'll show here later, that spending 1 green mana and tapping this to give that creature trample can win you games. It really can. But in between, yes, it is a bit of a mana sink, but when you get there, you can dump 6 mana into it to create a 2/2 white Elf Knight token with Vigilance, which basically is this guy. And I always love the artwork on this. He just looks very regal. He's one of my my draft champions. I love this card. 2/2 bear with Vigilance. Fantastic card, and of course falls into the Selesnya color, so why not? Jungleborn Pioneer is in here specifically because it's 2 creatures for 1, and will help you get to some of the Convoke things that we'll get into here in a bit. The Centaur Peacemaker, as soon as this stops glitching. Again, kind of more going with the Selesnya one. It doesn't really give you the tokens, but it is a 3/3 for 3 and does give you 4 life when it comes in. This has come in helpful when I do play the occasional mono red deck because gaining life helps keep you in the game. Conclave Tribunals are a must. You absolutely have to have them. There are going to be things that come into the board that you just need to get off the board, and Conclave Tribunal will help you out. 2 of your rares, Venerated Loxodon. The big Selesnya token decks are going to have 4, so if you were going to expand this deck, I would definitely move into 4 of these and drop some of these other little things off. But whenever he comes into play, if you convoke him, which you will, every creature that helps you convoke gets a +1/+1 counter, so it helps bring your entire board up. You know, the rising tide rises all boats kind of theory. Siege Wurm, another one of my favorite draft champions. A 5/5 trample for Convoke for 7, but you're not really going to pay the 7 because you have so many little things underneath of it that most likely you're only paying 2 or 3 mana for this guy, and he's a game winner. He can be with trample. The 5/7 Arboretum Elemental for 7/5 Convoke and Hexproof. So yes, the 9 casting cost on face value is a bit high, but again, with all the creatures you're going to have out there, he's only going to cost you about 3 or 4. And for a 7/5 with obviously trample from the Guildmage, that's going to help you out, and he's hexproof. That's super helpful. Worldsoul Colossus. Holy cow. This is one of the other cards I was referring to as far as giving trample. It's 1 green, 1 white, and X gives it a +1/+1 counter. So however big you make it, that's how big it's going to be. And then when you combine it with the Conclave Guildmage, that makes it a trample 10/10 creature or whatever it goes out to be. So it can be a ton of fun. The 2 mythics going to be in there are going to be Mulch of Multitudes. It's an instant with Convoke. You can create a whole bunch of life-leaking tokens to kind of final out the game or come out with some big blockers at the end. Great little card. Again, the bigger Selesnya decks are going to have 4 of these in there as well. As far as the mana base, we went dirt cheap. 4 Memorial's Glories to help create more creatures. I think we're recognizing a trend with what we need with Convoke to go. 4 Plains, 8 Forest, and then we went with 4 the Selesnya Guildgates. Of course, if you're going to upgrade the mana base, you're going to go with Sun Petal Groves. You're going to go with, oh, what's the other one? I don't even remember. I can't remember the name. It's the one that came out of Ravnica... Guilds of Ravnica. I apologize for the stall. You know the one I mean. It'll come to me later on in the game. But anyway, so that's the deck. Let's go ahead and give it a try and see how it does. But yeah, if you want to improve this deck, I would go with 4 and 4 with the big ones, the rare dual lands. So let's go play some games. Free to play. So I did have an interesting question on the Facebook one, like, well, how would I identify decks that would be budget decks? And when I say budget, of course, we're playing in Arena. So when I talk about budget decks, I'm talking about budget for Arena players. Now, as we don't pay for cards, so a 25-cent rare and a $30 rare are the same thing in Arena. They're a rare wild card. And sometimes that is good, because I don't have to spend a ton of money to go out and build a great deck. But sometimes that's bad. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Sometimes that's bad, because if I want to build a deck that's quote-unquote budget in paper that only costs, you know, $10 to build in paper, I think I'm going to go here and I'm going to cast Flower. If I want to build a cheap deck in paper, I can get a whole bunch of rares. I mean, that's super easy. For 25 cents, $1, things like that. You can build a good deck with some of those. But when it comes to Arena, wild cards are wild cards. So it is sort of a double-edged sword when we're talking with rares and mythics. Well, I guess we're going to go with 2 Guildmages. The blue-white does give me pause. I'm not going to lie. It makes me wonder if we're playing against control. And that doesn't help support that theory in any way, shape, or form. Because I have a feeling that things like counters are going to come in. Board wipes. And against a deck that's designed for Convoke, that's kind of counterintuitive. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this is a Team of Reclamation. We'll probably be this. Alright, so if we cast this guy out, we can get our Siege Wurm next turn. He'll counter it, but at least it'll be fun to try. So, which one's he going to go with? Interesting choice. I would have probably done the mana generator, but okay. And that does pause for the Siege Wurm. I want it. But he's just gonna counter it. I really, really want to do this, but he's just gonna counter it. Alright, let's try it. I mean, we're trying for fun. 1. Oh, it hit the table. Holy cow, I'm really surprised. I honestly was expecting... Mickey? How's it going, Mickey? You can So now we're going to go, since he is 10 pounds. 6, 7 more. I have a sneaking suspicion he's gonna let this go. If you haven't watched it already, before. Well, that's interesting. You never see it. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We might be able to pull off the old Flourish part of this. He is tapped down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure can. Whoa. Oh, it's a sorcery. That's my fault. Oh, I totally should have done that on... Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I hate when I make mistakes like that. That's total misplay by me. I'm actually okay with that result in the end. Because unless he comes up with a board wipe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll cast another Siege Wurm. Again, really surprised at what they did. Does he have 2 white sources? He does not. Now let's see what happens. Maybe? Maybe? Oh! Against a control deck, the cheapy free-to-play Convoke deck comes down with the win. I was super concerned. I thought he had a seal away. I thought he had something in there that was gonna burn us. But darned if we didn't get through that one. Heck yeah! Who says free-to-play decks can't beat those big top competitive decks? I don't. I think some of the easy ones for the free-to-play players, I'm always going to direct people to mono blue and mono red. Those are the cheapest, easiest ones to kind of work your way into. The mana base is nothing. And the handful of rares you need, you can acquire more. However, if you want something a little different, a little bit more fun, really wishing I didn't have all this tap mana in my hand, but it is what it is. I guess I'll go a little bit slow. That is one of the downsides to playing non-real dual lands. I see a path here, though. Venerated Loxodons, look at this. Ooh, this is going to be... That's going to be fun. More tap lands, yay. So let's gain some life to kind of offset some of the damage. Love this card. Love this card. Let's go with more Convoke creatures. Yeah. And we're going to go in there with the big old 3/3. Venerated Loxodons, I think, is the next call on this one. I'd love to get the 7/5 Hexproof in here because it's really going to ruin his day. So he's gonna kill the Llanowar Elf anyway. I like the Hexproof. I like leaving the Hexproof one there. I'm just gonna go ahead and block the Llanowar. I know that stinks, but at least I only lose 1 creature and not 2, and then I'll just take the damage myself personally because there's 1 damage here and 1 damage there. Yep. Should we do the Loxodon? No, I'm gonna wait 1 more turn. Let's get some more life there. That's really gonna start chafing him. Yeah, see, this is kind of counterintuitive. I'm sure he's got beauties down there, but I think it is Loxodon time. 1, 2, 3. Give all of them their +1/+1 tokens. And now they're a little bit bigger for his little fun abilities to fight. Cool. Normally you need the I'll tap that, and that. Since it is tapped down, I might as well do 6, 7. I'll have to pay 2 more? Oh, darn. Yeah, the 75 Hexproof one's going to be a problem for him, especially when all of these 4/4s go rolling in next turn. Very nice. I was going to say you don't want to do that. I'm not really caring about the life loss, so let's... I mean, he's going to gain the life. But he did something silly where he just tapped down his entire base. And I'm going to do something like this. And say... Here you go. One, two, 3. I can make it a 3/3. Yeah, let's do that. I'll save the next one. One, two, three. So yeah, he's going to gain some life with this, but I'm going to make sure that these things, like, again, having Judith in the Calamity deck really makes it counterintuitive because he's not getting the trigger for any of these. Curious what he's going to do next, because I think next turn I'm going to keep my smaller creatures, like my 2/2s and 3/3s back, and I'm just going to hit him with these big heavy hitters. And this is where, like, he'd be doing so much better if he hadn't cast Judith. This is why I don't buy this in this deck. Okay. I think he's figuring it out. I was just going to say, because he completely tapped out and he's dead. He gets that, right? 2-0 with the Conclave Selesnya token free-to-play deck. Ooh, what did we get? What did we get? Interesting. Alright, let's keep going. Let's get like 2 more games in there just to kind of give you an idea how this thing plays. So I have a whole bunch of... Basically, I'm going to go through each Guild of Ravnica. That's 10 decks, all free-to-play. 2 sets are going to be kind of in standard for the next 2 years. So I don't know when you are watching this video and you're picking up on this one, but it should give you a good manifestation, good basic cards to kind of work with just starting out in the game. So I'm super tempted to cast Flower on the first time. Yeah, and get the white. I think I'll do that. And I like what came down here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead with Flower. We're going to go get ourselves some Queens. So which one do we like better? Let's go with the Shieldmate first because... Damn. Ooh, we got some big ones here. This looks like an Orzhov deck, so this should be interesting. Eventually I'm going to do an Orzhov free-to-play one, too. It's odd enough, like, when I'm looking at the views for my videos, like, my Orzhov Afterlife deck seems to be... Ooh! Seems to be really popular. March of Multitudes. Let's just keep the pain train going. Take the wild guess and say he's not going to kill the 2/2. Ooh, Johnny's right. It's a life gain deck. Interesting mix. Well, we're going with Vampire. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. What we need is our Conclave Tribunal to get a Johnny's Pride Knight out of the way. Like, normally, I mean, if you're going to go life gain, like, Vampire life gain's pretty good. So I could see tossing the Johnny's and the Johnny's Pride Mates into it. See, now he's... And this is where this comes in. Like, he doesn't have enough to really take advantage of both. Johnny's comes swinging. I'm going to go in and take it. With your... Okay. Well, I'm not turning up that opportunity to kill the vampire. Yep, moment of triumph. Should have seen it coming. It's the janky deck that's the one that I'm having the most trouble with. How about that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's still not going to be big enough. And a Johnny's is just going to keep getting bigger. But it'll give him a moment of pause. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, but did I go? Hang on. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, not going to be enough. It's the trample I want him to hit. Problem is, I'm just going to get it Johnny to death. I need my Conclave Tribunal. I can probably take that one more time before I really need to start. Well, the upside is Johnny's is just going to do it. And they've reprinted this in War of the Spark, in case you didn't know. Yep, new artwork and everything. I like the set symbol because it brings the Bolas set, like the Hour of Devastation set back in. The flyer in the end is what's going to end up, by the way. Interesting choice. Yeah, I'm going to have to take... that's actually 16, and that's going to do it. Because I wasn't going to... Yep. Very well played. Alright, so that's a lot for the old deck, but that's okay. We'll go one more. One more. I don't even know what the right move was. Considering he had the removal, it doesn't matter what I would have blocked. Probably would have been better to block a Johnny's and stay alive a little bit longer. Because at least even if he removes it, you still block the creature and they still don't do damage. Ooh, he went ahead and paid for a Avatar. Good for him. There you are. Yeah, we'll take that. Drop the old Llanowar and say hello. Look how rough that is. I am. Look at this. What's he got? What's he got? Mono blue, maybe? Giving his avatar, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it's an Izzet deck of some sort. So I'm going to hold on to Conclave until it becomes necessary. And of course he's going to take that right to the face. Okay, he pulled off the old rookie mistake, which was casting the Tempest de Jin without having the ability to protect it. So we are going to show him the error of his ways. And say, don't do that. Bigger. That's why the Venerated Loxodon is kind of a must for a deck that's kind of even fuming. Air Elemental. Good old-fashioned Air Elemental. Let's go for a True. 5, 6, 7. I'll give him the opportunity to block with the air elemental. I'm going to assume he's not going to... Oh, he is going to do it. Interesting choice. I thought he'd have let that one go. It's the one true advantage he had in the air. So, no Convoke on this one. Let's see what he does. My guess is he's going to wipe out most of his mana, most of his creature base here. Sure. Oh, we're down to cards. He's gaining life. We need to stop him from doing that. And he watermeloned us. I need some of my bigger creatures. Well, that works. Helps with March of the Multitudes. Or, yeah, exactly. How many can I pull off at this point? So it's 3 to cast March of the Multitudes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Meteor Dome. What are we just going to go for? Does have Summoning Sickness. Oh, I need my big boys, and I'm not getting them. We're going to wait, and we're going to cast March of the Multitudes on his turn, and just try to overwhelm him. My goodness. I feel like this is the... What am I thinking? Oh, love this card. Arcane Encyclopedia. I'm surprised more people have it. I feel like this is the welcome deck. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't block anyway. So that's the plan. We're going to Flourish next turn. What are you gonna do? Sure. 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 That's still 15 damage you're taking. And I'm going to gain 15 life. Boom. So sure, you can hit me with your Jhin, but I'm hitting you with all of this next. Probably should draw a card. I should start putting it. Cool. Cool. No, I'm just gonna swing because I've got the game. He can block 1, 2, 3 creatures. I still kill him. So even if he kills everything I send at him, that is good. Nice little deck to play against, something different, something not meta. That's always cool. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you are a free-to-play player, these are kind of the decks that I would play with. I've been having fun with, and you don't need a ton of gold. A lot of it is just common and uncommon cards. They come to you relatively easily from opening packs. have fun with them. Let me know. If you were to make a free-to-play Selesnya token deck or Selesnya Convoke deck, how would you add it? Are there cards I missed, things I should have put in? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe while you're there. It always helps out the channel. And of course, there is a Patreon if you are so inclined. That is patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga. And until next video, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.